Hello, my name is Simon and welcome to AFC Bournemouth Analysis. Here's my quick preview of our upcoming trip to Stoke City. Despite our position in the table, I think there are reasons to be positive, mainly because we've put in some very good displays in recent games and just simply not got the points we've deserved to get from them. Obviously our trip to Spurs, we were very resilient for the whole first half, arguably had the better chances in the first half, and yet we were undone by just one mistake really, and the rest of the game was pretty tight. Even though we hung on for some of it, I think on another day we could have got a point in that game. And obviously Leicester, we should have won that game. Everton away, we should have won. So we should be in a much better position in the table at the moment than we are in. However, there's only so many times you can say, oh, we've played well. We have to start putting performances together, and hopefully that will start this Saturday against Stoke. A team who we got 4 points from last season, including a very good 1-0 win at their place. One of only 3 away wins we got last season, I think. Obviously we frustrated them a bit with our gamesmanship in that match. Hopefully we can do the exact same thing again. I've got no problems with it if we can get a result. So yeah, I think we're going to have to show resilience. Stoke aren't particularly setting the world alight. I think they're 17th, so they're only like 2 positions above us. That said, if you look at their fixtures, they haven't had a kind run of fixtures, and arguably, looking at the fixtures they've had, you might not even predict them to get as many points as they have right now. They've had Man United at home, Man City away, Arsenal at home, Everton away. Lots of tough games in there. They've got 8 points, which obviously isn't great, but I think they're in a bit of a false position. So it will be a tough game, but hopefully the fact that they just got battered by Man City will not have a backlash, and instead we can take advantage. And if we can score early, then I think there's a chance we can get a result this weekend. As I just said, I think Stoke City are in a false position somewhat, so this is going to be a tougher game than many of our fans might think it will be. They've got lots of good players defensively. Midfield, Joe Allen, obviously at the back they've got Zuma. Shawcross is a decent centre half on his day, but hopefully our speedier players can get in about them. But obviously if they take the lead, it's going to be tough. Obviously they've got Peter Crouch that they usually bring off the bench. We don't do well with players who are good in the air, so obviously that's a bit of a danger. They're a very physical side. Sometimes we don't match up well with that, although long gone are the days of Sean O'Driscoll where we had a team of players that were all about 5 foot tall. We've got a lot more steel about us now, as the win at Stoke last season showed. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game. There are no easy away games in the Premier League, or indeed any games in general at this level, so yeah, it's going to be tough. I'm going to be interested to see whether Eddie Howe decides to go back to 4-4-2, which just didn't work for us at the start of the season, or whether he'll play a slightly more defensive approach like he did at Spurs. Whether that's going to be 4-5-1 or 5-4-1, I'm not sure. I'd personally prefer 4-5-1 and put Arter in midfield instead of Gosling, and maybe take Cook out of the 2 centre-back partnership, because I think Francis is better on the right as a centre-back. And obviously he's the captain, and I don't think Eddie Howe has it in him to drop him. So it's going to be interesting to see whether we play one up front, or whether we're going to be persist with the Defoe and King partnership, which clearly doesn't work. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I personally would want to see 4-5-1 now. I'm going to be slightly optimistic. I usually predict us to lose on these, so I'm going to say it's going to be 1-1, but if we can win, that will be massive. And yes, a 1-1 draw is an optimistic prediction from me. Yeah, a couple of people got in touch, so thanks so much for that, both on Twitter. The first is AFCB Jamie, and he said the game will be a cagey affair with both teams performing below their fan expectations so far. Must not lose game for confidence reasons. Win would be huge. Hard to disagree with that. I think there'll be pressure on both sides, but I think as Stoke as the home side, they'll be expected to win this game. Maybe not comfortably, but maybe 2-0 or 3-1 or something like that. So we've got to be on our guard. Obviously they've got a noisy home crowd, but if we can really get under their skins like we did last season, we'll have a chance, and hopefully we will. Second, Brendan Guy, also on Twitter, said, I'm backing a Cherries win. Their performances have been consistent of late and deserved more points. If they keep this up, they have a chance. Yep, I agree with that. Performances have been fine. Hopefully we can put one in against Stoke. It would be a very bad time to put in a poor performance, but I'm sure the players are all motivated. They came so close to a result at Spurs. I think they'll be really, really eager to go one step further and put points on the board, especially as we've lost all 4 of our away games this season. That's something that has to be put right sooner rather than later. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Please do follow this channel by subscribing, following the Facebook and Twitter accounts. The URLs are here. You can even email the channel at afcbanalysis@gmail.com, but don't do that. Instead, comment on the threads I create on Twitter and Facebook after and before games, asking for your thoughts, and then I'll probably read them out in the Have Your Say section. So yeah, please do that. Spread the word about this channel. It'd be great to have more people watching it, more people contributing. That's ultimately what I want. So yeah, thanks again so much for watching, and up the cherries in all departments.